welcome to everyone joining. We are here for the fourth time now, and I can tell you it won't be the last time. Yeah, as usual, I'm Liza from Hospitality Industry Club, and I will get you through this 1 hour, more or less, of this Corona talk session today with the topic, how can we help you and how can we help each other? The concept will be like an evening camp, so it's a total open discussion. We will share opinions, ideas, how everyone's doing, where they're sitting, how it is in the country, and we will keep it short and simple, please, because 1 hour is a really, really short time of period, and with 6 panelists, even more so. We will have a chat with all of our panelists, but please be open to ask questions. So if you have any questions, please use our Q&A. There is a button below that you can click, and then you will go to the Q&A section, and please ask all your questions there. Deniel will be having a look at those questions. Please try not to use the chat because that will be really confusing for Deniel, so only use the Q&A. I would love to jump right into and introducing the panelists. Therefore, I would need another slide, Deniel. Stop flirting with Anna.
Just saying hello.
I know. Okay, so as usual and as in the evening camps, please say your name, your company, and explain a bit what you do at the company. And last but not least, give us a hashtag that describes you. Please try to keep it as short as possible because obviously you will also get to talk after that. I would start with Antonino from TiGErtms. Hi, Antonino, thanks for being here.
Thank you very much, Lisa, and hello everyone. Yes, my name is Antonino, and I'm working as Sales Director for TiGErtms. I'm in charge for the DACH market, Benelux, Nordics, and East Europe and Russia. What is TiGErtms? So, well, we are on the market about for 35 years, and we are perhaps the largest supplier of communications, data solutions for the hospitality market. And yes, we work with about 30,000 customers worldwide. The biggest hotel chains are our customers, and I'm based in Germany. So yes, as everyone, I'm experiencing the lockdown, and hopefully, yes, for the next weeks or next months, everything will be better. If there is an hashtag that can describe me at the moment, I would say waiting for the sun. Waiting for the end of all this, and waiting for the sun, waiting for that summer will bring something really nice instead of this.
Awesome, thank you very much. Then we'll go on with Clemens from SiteMinder. Welcome, nice to have you.
Well, thank you very much for having me. Thanks, Daniel. Thanks, Lisa. So I'm Clemens from SiteMinder. We are an online distribution platform. So anything regarding online distribution for any kind of accommodation, we're a good partner to talk to. I'm also actually based in Berlin now, where we just opened recently our brand new office, and then came Corona, which put everything to a halt. So kind of just waiting to get fully operational. Yeah, excited to be here. Looking forward to some good exchange of ideas. Hashtag that would describe me. Those who know me would say like I like actually like a short commute to work, and I think at the moment the commute to work couldn't be any shorter. It's pretty much from the bedroom to the living room. So it's kind of unbeatable. Well, that's pretty much my hashtag actually. Yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot. Neville from Beonprice, welcome back for the 3rd time. We are still happy to have you.
Very happy to be here. My name is Neville Isaac. I am the Chief Customer Officer in Beonprice. Beonprice, we provide technology for revenue management for hotels. Our core product is a revenue management system, which uses machine learning to make predictions of demand and recommend strategy. And then we also have some other products to provide you with market intelligence. So rate shopping, online reputation, things like that. We have around about 2,000 customers, primarily in Spanish-speaking markets at the moment, so South America and Spain, and we are gradually opening up in other markets. It's been delayed a little bit for some reason, but that's where we are. And in terms of hashtag, my hashtag would be, it's not long now till I can get my hair cut.
Perfect, thanks a lot. Neha, welcome.
Hi guys, thank you for having me. I'm Neha from Revinate, and we're based in Amsterdam. I work very closely with the DACH market. And yeah, what does Revinate do? 11 years ago, we started with the reputation and surveys product. And then 6 years ago, we built a CRM system on top of it. So today we are talking about an integrated guest data platform. What does it mean for the hotels? For the hoteliers, it usually means having clean guest data, having unified guest data, and also having target group specific and automated guest communication. Very happy to be here today.
Your hashtag?
Oh, my hashtag is, I changed my hashtag quite often in the last weeks, but I would say hopeful today. Hopeful that we see each other soon all together, and also hopeful that we learn a lot from the current situation.
Thank you very much. Then we have two lovely hoteliers as well. David, Hotel Big Mama, welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm David. I'm the CEO of the Big Mama Hotels and the co-founder. We have two properties right now, one in Berlin and one in Leipzig, where I am right now. And my hashtag at the moment is always look on the bright side of life.
Good one. Thanks a lot. And last but not least, Deniel. Hi.
Hi, everybody. My name is Deniel. I'm VP Revenue Management for H Hotels. I'm based currently in Berlin, so our office is based in Berlin, our head office. And we're experiencing the lockdown as well as all other hotel chains. And my hashtag is, I would say, hashtag impatient, which is the worst characteristic to have at these days. So looking forward to have a very soon end of this crisis, and thank you for the invitation.
Yes, perfect. Thanks a lot. Then Deniel, you have another slide, right? Daniel. Well, no, today I will be getting confused with Deniel and Daniel. Okay, yeah. Basically, me, Liza Kapageridou, will be moderating this with Deniel. Can you introduce yourself?
I'm Daniel.
Nice to have you.
No, I'm the founder of the Hospitality Club and opensmjle, and it will be my pleasure to co-host this and do all the polls and stuff, which I actually need to do right now.
Correct. That would be the next thing I wanted to tell you. So we don't want only our panelists to introduce themselves, but we want to know who is currently watching. So please let us know where you are from and what's your background. So are you a hotelier, tech provider, OTA, etc.? Will be super interesting because probably we can direct also then some ideas and questions into into this direction and see where you are watching us from. So still a lot of hoteliers, which is obviously great. Later on, if you want to join as a panelist and discuss with us, please feel free to raise your hand to write Daniel a message. We will onboard you as a panelist and speak to you if you have any direct questions or any ideas what you're currently doing. Feel free. I would love and start with the relevant question today is how can we help you and how can we help each other? Neha, how are you supporting hoteliers right now?
Yeah, so first of all, I think what fascinates me a lot is that the hospitality industry is really contributing from all sides, basically. So it doesn't matter if it's hotels or if it's providers. I feel like there's a lot of support, which I like. And knowledge sharing is actually the main key, I think, that helps everybody. So what Revinate, for example, does is that we, quite early in the stage, we set up an online resource center, and that helps everybody to stay close to the hoteliers, basically, share knowledge or best practices from other hoteliers as well, uploading expert interviews in order to help everybody. And then a second thing that I can think of is that our customer success team also created a lot of content and material for the hotels to help when everything, let's say, starts again. So because we know that hoteliers nowadays, they don't have so many employees right now working in the hotels, so that we can maybe help with our guest communication material, that they can still keep communicating with their guests, even though staff might be a little bit limited, unfortunately, right now.
Totally. And you also have relevant guest data itself, right? So are you supporting hoteliers and like giving them extra tips, what they should look at?
Yeah, we shared a lot of content on what kind of segments we could think of. For example, we all kind of have certain predictions. How is it gonna move forward? Such as, I think many people are recommending, are saying that the domestic market is gonna be the first market to look at, let's say. In Germany, I think last time we mentioned 88%. So what about then looking into the segments that actually do make sense, and what about staycation offers, etc. So we do share the segments that can be very, very relevant, and also the material to be quick in acting upon it.
Mm-hmm. Thanks a lot. Brandon actually is asking, where can we view the resource center? Neha, could you be so kind to put the link in the chat of your resource center? Awesome. Mm-hmm. Thanks a lot. How is it with you, Clemens? Are you experiencing, or are you looking into new channels, for example, for the channel manager, that you could offer the hoteliers? Because obviously services are changing in the hotel right now, right? So what are you more or less doing?
Yeah, that's a really good question, actually. So basically, in essence, yes, absolutely. So we are always looking to add new channels. Like pretty much everyone else, this crisis, of course, affects us. So, you know, like first and foremost, we try to be there for our customers. There's a lot of attention being paid to just customer care, and just basically like looking where they're at, looking at their needs, also looking into individual solutions based on their needs. Obviously, like these are unprecedented times. And even McKinsey has 9 different curves to explain how that crisis can potentially develop, and curves of recovery. It basically means like that they don't have a clue, and no one else really has. You can only look at data. You can look at and talk to, of course, other industry experts. You can talk to hoteliers, and you can exchange. And I think that's also like a really nice leitmotif that you guys chose for today's session, because I think it's a lot about, like, you know, exchanging information, exchanging ideas, and looking together at it. In terms of the channel manager and channels, well, we have already over 400 channels connected, like number still increasing. People are not traveling, and we have almost all of the airplanes at the moment grounded. Doesn't really matter which channel you look. It takes some time to recover, but we actually do see, and they're looking a little bit at our data, and also just, like, you know, been listening to a lot of webinars recently. You do see recovery starting to happen. Like, you know, China was the first one to lift, and also for the summer months, you can actually see that at latest as of August, that most big European countries have a positive net number of reservations, so meaning more actually reservations than cancellations. And those are indicators that actually should help us to see the coming months in a bit of more of a positive light. When it comes to, like, choosing the right channels for that, you know, there's kind of a broad consensus that domestic travel might be the first one to kick back in. And then, of course, it's from a hotelier's perspective, looking at, okay, which of my distribution channels cover best domestic traveling. You know, I mean, for each market there might be various different ones. And of course, what shouldn't be overlooked in all of this is a good direct booking strategy, right? So a nice channel to have is get a direct booking.
For sure. Deniel, in revenue management, you are usually looking at previous data, which won't help you. You are closed, right? The hotels are all closed, right?
Most of our hotels are completely closed. Yeah, we have a couple hotels open, which are taking, for example, hospital employees or Red Cross employees or something like that. But there's no normal demand at all in our hotels. So yeah.
So you usually look back on numbers and then you decide which prices to put on, in which direction you can go. What are you doing right now? When you open up, what will you do?
Well, we used to look at historical data, and historical data, of course, is important. However, as you say, we can completely forget this year, and I think we have to compare 2021 with 2019 or 2018 even so. But what we need in revenue management, and we do have a quite cool revenue management system which is looking into forward demand data, and this helps us a lot, because we can see where the hits are starting at our website, where are visitors coming to our website, where people are checking for rates. So at least we get some indicators when people start to even look at making a reservation, if not even confirming the reservation until the end. So we get some indicators, but we need more. And this is one of the how you can guys help us, or how can we help each other, is to share this kind of future demand data in between us, because otherwise we'll be all kind of blind, especially the hotels.
Mm-hmm.
Situation like this have never been before, and we don't know how to deal with that at all. So as more data as we can get, the better it will be for us.
For sure. And I think a lot of hoteliers are now, they're afraid that when everyone can open up more or less again, that everyone will drop the prices. So that everyone will start at a real low rate to get at least most bookings. What would you say? Would you say it will happen? And what is your opinion on that?
I'm pretty sure it will happen, to be honest, because this is how hospitality usually works. If there's an uncertain situation, or if there's no demand, people start dropping the rates. But I think the moment it really opens up, demand will be significant, and there is no need to drop the rates. It's more the opportunity to raise the rates there. That's why I personally think the hoteliers should stick to higher rates instead of moving down and being desperate for bookings, which would come anyway as soon as the world opens up again.
For sure. Neville, I assume it would be best if you say something now, right? Because this is totally your topic, and you've been telling everyone like 2 times already, don't drop prices when you open up. So
I completely agree with what Daniel said. I fear that there will be a large number of hotels who drop their prices. I don't think it's going to have a good impact. I mean, the philosophy normally is if you drop your prices, you will capture more volume. But that's not likely to happen in the situation that we have now. There's going to be very little demand initially. I don't really think that demand will be very price sensitive. What are you going to achieve with dropping your prices? You're probably going to sell the same amount of volume at a lower price, and this has an impact on your bottom line. I've been preaching this, and not just me, lots of people have been preaching this for a long time, but the reality of the market is sometimes not what we would like. I think big chains have a responsibility here to try and maintain pricing, because often people follow what they do in the marketplace. And then, I mean, I've been a hotelier most of my life. Now I'm a vendor, but when you're a hotelier, you have to go to the bank and explain, or you have to go to the owner and explain why you can't pay the mortgage. Or so I understand why people want to get some business in their hotels, but it's a short-term, potentially some short-term benefit, potentially, but it's a medium, long-term, very, very bad for business. So, I mean, we'll have to see. We have to keep transmitting the message. And the other thing is that if your competitors do start dropping prices, you have to resist the temptation to do the same. And that's pretty difficult. I've been there before in the financial crisis. We all lived through this. And actually, in the financial crisis, there was a big price war. And the result was that many companies went bankrupt. So we should try and learn these lessons.
Yeah.
Bit by bit, hopefully people will become
For
more.
sure. Yeah. David, I would be interested in your opinion on how do you feel about, or how do you see the situation that hoteliers are currently helping each other? Do you feel hospitality is getting closer together and really even sharing more information in between hotels, or are you experiencing another thing?
No, I experience the same thing. Right now, there are so many webinars and everybody's trying to help each other. But the main question for me is how it's going to be after that, after COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
And I strongly believe, and I think that's not the most likeliest opinion, but my opinion is that everything will get back to as it was before. Everybody will be or do his own stuff, and I mean, of course, like you guys, the HIC and maybe some other small things, trying to help each other, but the large number of hoteliers will do their own stuff or their own things, because at the end, everybody has to look at this bottom line and has to get the money he needs or they need. And that's still the most important thing for most of them, I guess. So I'm not so optimistic about that everything or that this thing will change after.
Yeah, we actually have a question and a comment as well, which fits into that. And I will start with Thomas. Thomas says, I don't even think we are at this point, but rather have to rethink entirely how we do business. It would be wrong to just go back where we came from before. And he adds, I strongly believe that this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for the global hospitality and tourism industry to change for the better. There's a huge opportunity. This sector will start out of the crisis better than they have entered it. We are all starting at the same line in a couple of months, ground zero. Now's the time for a change and do what the industry has not done for the last 10 years. And with that have become dependent and pay a huge toll. I think it's a very valuable comment, and I'll come to Noel's question in a second as well. We covered some stuff of that in our session last week, where we spoke about how hotels need to adjust to the situation, that you should not go back to just selling rooms, but maybe look into diversification and look into renting to students or renting rooms during the day as individual offices and stuff. So if you missed that, I think it's a good opportunity to go back to the recording on our website or on YouTube. And with that, I would love to pick up the question from Noel. We can dive more into that, but Noel says, customer trust will be paramount when hotels open again. How will hotels promote their cleaning protocols? And last week we had the director of the Beau Lac in Zurich, and they are currently working with virologists to create their own certification. And we had Trust You on the call as well, that create the cleanliness index, right? So what could be scenarios how you can promote actually your cleaning protocols? Is there anything that you're looking into right now, especially starting with David and then Liza takes over again?
Yeah, so right now we are working on some kind of SOPs, how we can promote these things we are doing. And one main thing for us, I mean, is Neha, obviously, with the Revinate as our CRM. So we try to communicate as much as possible with our guests and send them mails, send them our view and what we are doing right now and what we are planning to do in the future, of course, to have a really high standard of hygiene, and through the social medias as well. And of course, but the most Yeah, that's the part when the guest, before the guest arrives at the hotel. When he is at the hotel, then he needs to see that we really do it, and that we still communicate with them on premises then.
Okay. Daniel, do you have any information on that, how you will proceed?
Yeah, David covered it all almost. We are proceeding in the same way. We are communicating with the guests before arrival, and when the guest arrives to the hotel, we will have signs everywhere. We will explain the procedures. We will have employees who are watching after the guests, keeping the distance, having masks around everywhere, and this disinfection stuff and things like that. So this whole hygiene topic will become core, at least in the beginning, and at some point I think that we will go back to normal when it comes to these topics.
Yeah. I would even go more informed enough. So do you feel that you have all information you need to proceed? What is allowed, what is not allowed?
No, not at all. Not at all at the moment. We are collecting all information from different sources, from different providers with our housekeeping companies.
Mm-hmm.
No one is really 100% on top of everything. So I think it's a collection and semi-knowledge at the beginning and in the morning, but we'll get there at some point.
Yeah. David, you wanted to say something as well? Sorry.
Yeah, I really think that this whole hygiene thing and wearing masks and stuff will be relevant for us at least for the next year, or maybe 1 year and a half. So that, like Daniel just said, that will be core to maintain this, to communicate it really in a strong way, and yeah, it's a massive task for all of us.
For sure, communication in a new way.
Maybe we can involve Neha in this context, because David just said that they are using Revinate for that. Do we have more feedback on how your hotel customers are handling that and how they are communicating in that context proactively? Sorry.
Yeah, I actually wanted to agree to David and Daniel, actually, because I think the communication becomes very, very important. I feel like the market is very ready to travel once we are able to travel. But at the same time, of course, many people are very insecure as well. Where am I secure? Where to go? Where are the standards given or met? So I think, as Daniel just said earlier as well, having the communication in place before people either arrive or even during the booking stage, etc., becomes very important to give them the confidence that you're safe here, and these are the measurements that we are taking in order to be safe with us. That's the first thing that I think is very important. However, talking about certifications, I think one thing that will become very natural as well is going to be reviews. So those people in a more advanced stage that traveled, I think they will leave more reviews as well, and people will rely more on reviews. So that will in a way become a very natural kind of certification as well. So I think that becomes very important as well.
Totally. I would love to see Antonino's opinion on this, on all of this. So how are you actually dealing with it, and how are you helping hoteliers with all the situation? What have you been doing so far?
Yes, what we are doing at the moment is actually what we are not able to do during normal times, or better to say, we are trying just to stay closer and closer to our customers and offering them things that we normally cannot do during normal times, such as offering them additional trainings free of charge, additional advising in terms of system configuration, as we are technology providers. Try to understand how they would like just to figure out system change for the next future, and advise them accordingly. And of course, we are open just to any question they could have, or just to any favor they could ask us. And in terms of technology, I think that all these changes that will be taking over as soon as the hotel industry will be back, will have also an impact on the technology solutions. For instance, just so the possibility that the guests will use more cash-free payment solutions. We will need just to think about how to improve the possibility to interfacing other applications that offer these online payments or touchscreen payments, or in terms of cleanliness standards. What are the solutions that can help the possibility just to identify if a standard has been applied or not. In terms of reviews, what we can do in terms of the possibility that to offer the hoteliers to be yes, that their reviews can be online, so as much as possible that the guests themselves can send their reviews in a very easy way. Yes, all these things, just sort of think about how to plan the next future, and at the moment, yes, so to be in contact with them. Also, a training session is a possibility just to exchange opinions with customers and hoteliers. And what I could get is a sort of case. So I don't want just to be, I mean, so very optimistic, even though I like to be. But so everyone is sure that. I mean, this is the opinions I could get, that we will get back, and it will be a sort of restart with perhaps so a sort of desire, sort of willing from hotel guests to be on the road again, and also the issue will be so how to deal with all these guests that can visit us, can book our hotels. How can we deal with this mass of guests, let's say in this way, that can just make bookings? Yeah. Yeah.
That would be the thing that we all would want. Clemens, you were raising your hand, and I was like back in Vienna at our hotel camp. That's why I had to laugh in between. I'm sorry. You wanted to say something probably to what Antonino just commented on, right?
Absolutely, I know, because like a few very interesting notions that I just wanted to take the opportunity. So one on the hygiene and how the traveling will look like. So obviously this is going to be super relevant, and to actually like make it a bit more concrete, yeah, like in Austria they actually have decided when hotels can open back up, which is May 29th. So now hoteliers have a clear deadline to work towards when they can open back up, and with that of course come a lot of new legislation and rules, also and especially regarding hygiene. And like one of the main issues, as we all know, is like that personal contact. So there are a lot of apps that you can use to reduce that contact when it comes to check-in and check-out. But one crucial area is also like the whole like gastronomic area, like where you basically have your breakfast service, where you might have lunch and dinner, and that is just going to be drastically reduced. So there's like rules in place of maximum amount of people that can enter, and that's going to be in place for a while. And when we say when will things ever go back to normal, like, well, to be honest with you, until there's a vaccination, we won't at all. It's hard to imagine packed planes that fly to Venice or to Barcelona to squeeze themselves into the Ramblas or the San Marcos Square. That's not going to happen anytime soon. It's probably like one of the worst imaginations not to be forced to be next to people so close, because it's just a high risk. And then on what Antonino touched on, the digitization, I think if that crisis made anything clear, and that is not just with regards to hospitality in general, but that we as countries are like awfully unprepared for the challenge is posed here. So there is, and that's also going to affect, of course, our industry, going to be a strong push to digitize and have services and certain products available online. So for when something like this does occur, not only can, you know, schools be taught at home and certain things just be done online, where before you need to go to an office, but also from a hotel perspective, there's going to be an even stronger push to digitize. And now, like the good news there, if there's any, at the moment we have a bit more time than we're used to, because things are going quite slow. It doesn't mean that we have necessarily like not a packed day, but it definitely like allows some time to basically think of how is it going to work when it reopens, and now to strategize and find a formula to work on and to develop for that we're ready when things are actually going back. So we can make use of this time now.
Yeah, if I may just add to that, and that will imply a question as well. To give you context, I today had a services guy at my place checking out something on the terrace, whatever it is, and their store is currently closed, obviously. And he wants me to come in next week. So I said, okay, can I just walk in or whatever? And he said, no, you need to pre-book a slot with us, because only one person will be allowed to come in at the same time into their store to check out what they have and how it looks and whatever. So I said, okay, that's interesting. In that context, will hotels in the near future maybe need a new software, a new technology, which is integrated with whatever, question to all of you, where people can book slots in the restaurant to pick up their breakfast, to check in, check out, whatever it is? Would there be the need to create something like that? And how can we help as tech providers in that context? Or is anyone already working on that? Open question to everyone, whoever wants to take it. My check, says Brandon.
That's actually what happens if you don't point out people. No one answers.
Clemens. You nodded.
Like, you know, absolutely conscious that I just talked, but maybe just in brief, right? I mean, absolutely. I think there's a lot of applications and programs and services already available. I mean, from SiteMinder perspective, we do have the hotel app store connecting to hundreds of different apps that not only help you to upsell, cross-sell, but that probably also help you to automate the check-in, check-out, and services around that. Expect a lot more to come in that area, because the need is growing. I don't think it's far off reality that you're going to have to book your slots for any kind of services that need human interaction and people coming close to one another, because that's what everybody's a bit afraid at the moment, and that's why you're going to have the strictest rules all around. But also expect, like, even like, you know, per country, like even different solutions to be found and workarounds to be found. And then we also have to see of whether it actually works, and those measures prove doable, or if then, you know, we see that even stricter rules have to be implied, which nobody hopes, but it's basically like a trial and error progress now.
For sure. And don't you think that if this comes, or if this scenario takes place that Deniel described, then hoteliers will need even more help to decide, well, okay, which technology to choose and what can this technology do for me? Because then there will be no full service technology that can do everything. David, how do you see it? Won't that be super complicated? It's already complicated as it is. And then having to choose those technologies, what do you think?
Yeah, of course. I mean, there are already so many providers out there. I mean, we are pretty lucky. We are using Muse, so we have the online check-in and online check-out already in use, and we have a kiosk as well, and we can communicate with our staff. But I mean, platforms maybe like from Florian, like Hotel Hero, may become more important, and also interacting with each other from the hoteliers side. Can be more important as well. So just ask them, what are you using? Is it good or not? So yeah, but definitely there are so many out there, and to pick the right one, it's really difficult always. But therefore, it's more important that we have the open APIs, that we can just plug in and play and try it out. And if it's not work, then just change it and use something else.
For sure. That will be for sure become even more important than it ever was. What do you expect right now from a provider? If they approach you, even if you work with them, or yes, David, if you work with them or not, it doesn't matter. If a provider approaches you, what do you expect from them right now at this moment? How would they be able to help you?
So I'm always saying, if somebody wants to work with us, he needs to provide at least a free trial. And I think this is even more important right now. The free trial, 1 month or so, where you can try everything. And then if it's good, of course, then I'm willing to pay for it. But right now, especially where the money is low, a free trial is really essential to use the right tool.
For sure. I think that's a great example. Deniel, what would you say? I know you have already great technology you mentioned, but in general terms, not only on revenue, what would you expect from a provider right now if they contact you, or if you need help and contact them?
Well, I think we would expect even more. Well, as David said, we would need a free trial because money is short. It is the case at the moment. We would need some more information, and we would need processes, and we would need even more consultation from the provider in terms of the system they're trying to sell us, and what the extra benefit is. Of course, it won't change a lot to what they should be doing by now anyway, but it should be more detailed.
Yeah, I think it will get more intense for sure. Antonino, is this something that you are also working on internally? So not let's say the usual selling process, but helping hoteliers and giving them more consulting on what you see in the market in general?
Definitely. So what we are doing, or what we have already done, is just to try to not at least to be there and tell the hotelier, okay, so this is the best solutions that you could have in your life, but first to understand and to listen to what their needs are, and because okay, so we can have the best and the most innovative solution in this world, but perhaps so the hotelier does not need it, and so in this case, so if we have the possibility to customize a solution, the first thing that we need to do is to listen to what they really need, and then so try just to, if it's possible, to implement what their expectations are. And another thought about the future. So for the next comeback of the hotels, I think that in terms of hygienic also procedures or measures that will be coming up, that will bring just a bigger use of also bring your own devices solutions, by which so the guest will not have the possibility just to make everything with their mobile device, even tablet or a mobile phone, but also just to mean a simple thing. So if I'm really my concern is not to have so much contact, even face to face, for instance, with a concierge. Perhaps I can just check so my e-concierge app. So what are the services, all the suggestions that a normal concierge desk employee could just offer me. And yes, that is my opinion, one of the biggest things that would be
Neville, we have talked also a lot about how hoteliers could help each other, how they should share information. What are you experiencing on terms of providers helping each other, sharing information?
It is happening. I mean, there is, Neha mentioned this at the beginning, there is quite a lot of solidarity in the industry at the moment. And we are seeing providers giving free resources, things like what Revinate have done, really useful. Free training, we've given away our online training on revenue management free of charge to anybody. who wants to sign up. And we got actually about 1,500 people signed up because of that. So this is what vendors can do for the industry. Providers between each other. I mean, we are finding that we are doing a lot of things with partners. We're a revenue management system, but we partner with PMSs. And we're having a lot of interaction with PMSs and sharing information and even doing webinars together and things like that, which in the past was a lot more challenging to do. Between people who are our competitors, I mean, we're not really, I mean, I know people in all of our competitors, and we talk and we chat about how the market is, but there's no real sort of formal sharing of information. And to be honest, in many markets, we're not actively selling right now. We don't think it's appropriate for us to phone people up and say, I've got this product, do you want to spend some money? Even though I fully believe that our product is useful for hotels, I just don't think it's the right time to approach. So what we're really doing is providing content, providing free training, and taking the opportunity to improve our product. So we've actually increased our technical team in the last month so that we can go faster in our technical roadmap. Because we think that once things do return to some kind of normality, we actually think that's a huge opportunity. And we want to make sure we're ready to take advantage of that. So, you know, it's a very interesting moment in the industry. There's even some aspects that are nice because there's kind of a blank canvas to draw. So all the things that we maybe, all the ideas that people have that they never put into practice before, and now's the time.
For sure. Yeah, totally. Thank you, Neville. I would love to ask again all the viewers, if you have any questions, now would be the time, because it's more or less 10 minutes left. I would love to see Neha. I know you have relevant data, and you have you've talked about reviews as well. Is there anything else that you would recommend hoteliers to do? Being it right now, being it after they can open up, what recommendations, like really specific, 1, 2, 3, what would you recommend hoteliers to do?
Yeah, I think it has been mentioned before as well, but using the time now to look at your technology. How can the technology help you for the time after or even now? Because, so that would be my first point, basically, quick one. The second one, really stay close to your guests and communicate with them even now, because they are ready and I think they will move forward when everything opens up again. So really stay close to your guests. And now you're nailing me down on 3 points. I need to come up with a third one.
No.
Yeah, just done.
If you have to, that's totally fine as well.
Yeah.
Then I would love to see Deniel and David. We will hang up in a few minutes, and well, you will work probably tomorrow. Did you take anything away from this? And I hope you say yes, because otherwise that would be really bad for me. So think about something quick. Did you take anything from this? And is this a good thing to discuss possible solutions? And yeah, what will you do tomorrow? Will you rethink some things? Will you check other things that you maybe didn't check? Deniel, start.
To answer your first question, yes, I think it's a good thing to have this session here and to share opinion and thoughts, because this is what we, let's be honest, normally don't do, also between hoteliers. And I will definitely take something away, and this is what we just discussed, this whole hygiene standard, and to highlight this on the website and to highlight this in our customer communication. This is something which I already emailed certain people why you guys were talking about different things. So
okay, awesome.
Definitely.
Thanks a lot. That's good. And David?
first of all, of course, it's good to do this session, and because everybody has a different knowledge, and if we share our knowledge and it grows, especially for the hoteliers, maybe you get some ideas. And secondly, yeah, just communicating even stronger, doing the hygiene standards on a really high level, and keep communicating that.
Mm-hmm. And then Dominic is asking, I would stick with you, David, if you see a new business opportunity after the virus, and if that, what would you do differently than before? Is it my connection or is it David's connection? Because I don't hear him.
We hear you well, I think. We don't hear David well.
Okay.
Maybe repeat the question once again, Lisa.
Yeah, for sure. So the question is, do you see the time after the virus as a new opportunity for business, maybe even a different business, kind of business? And if so, what would you do differently than before, David?
Yeah, sorry. So I think we shouldn't overthink it too much. I mean, the business model we had before was good. So coronavirus is not our fault. Of course, you should look for some things, but you shouldn't change all of it right now. So I mean, we are selling our rooms as hotel offices now, right? Actually, everybody's doing it. So this could be a chance to do it after as well if the occupancy is low. Maybe do some more long time stays in your hotel, like students or something, as a small part. Yeah, you should think about it, but you shouldn't overthink it. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Because the business model right now or was good before.
Yeah. Do you have the same opinion, Deniel? Because you're smiling.
I agree completely with David. We shouldn't overthink it, but as in the beginning someone said, it's once in a lifetime chance to change at least something, and especially when it comes to distribution. And I think there is a lot of space for improvement with regards to distribution and the channels we are feeding, with what we are feeding the channels, who are we allowing to sell our rooms and things like that. So this is something which would probably take a much longer discussion than we have now left, but this is something the hoteliers have and must overthink, because we shouldn't rely too much on,
For sure.
on our friends.
Daniel, because I'm curious, in a nutshell, does that involve, for example, that you are considering not selling your rooms anymore like you did in the past on the big OTAs? So might there be a different rate, or might you drop out of OTAs partially, or what's the start?
Well, let's be realistic, and for our hotel chain, we are a good, solid hotel chain. We do have nice destinations, good hotels, but it's not that we are some kind of boutique chain with small hotels where we can select our distribution partners like cherries. That's not the case. So we rely on our distribution partners, and we will always rely on them, and we are always keen to have a professional relationship with them. However, there are certain tools and tactics which should be implemented from my point of view when it comes to distribution with regards, for example, as you mentioned, different rates, different room types, different services, whatever, just to push as much as possible into direct distribution and to lower the reliance of global OTAs, which we used to have, all of us.
Yeah, maybe there will, from a provider point of view, maybe there will be the need as well to have a deeper diversification into what you actually can sell, for example, via a booking engine. So it's not only the 24 hours overnight stay, but it actually could be as well a split of free packages per day, especially like we had for the airport hotels before, could now be during the day as a hotel office and stuff. So maybe there could be a diversification from a technology point of view. So you can use the same provider for a similar process and combine packages and bundle them.
Correct.
If you're doing that, Clemens, 10% for me from SiteMinder.
Clemens was raising his hand, actually.
Daniel said, because I think it's extremely, like, an exciting time to really think about that. And if you look at it, like the big OTAs, the big channels, they were just like light years ahead. But the hotels and their direct booking strategies and their booking engines and their whole strategy around the website, they are catching up. And now this is actually just additional time to catch up further. And they're not saying like one or the other, but like to basically think about a good new balance of how do you want that to look like, and what is a healthy mix. There's more than just one or two big channels. But I mean, also as mentioned from Deniel, right? I mean, let's face it, it's not going to be like everything upside down. It's not going to be 100% direct bookings, although like some hotels would love that. They are the channels are a big part of the ecosystem, but it's up to the hoteliers to basically define that ecosystem and decide also for themselves of how much from what do they want. And then you have to look at, okay, what type of hotel, how many rooms, in order to adjust and find, whatever fits you there. But it's a once in a lifetime chance now to really rethink that, among many other things that we never took the time, or hoteliers also just never had the time, because pretty much right now, like weekend May 1st, like everybody would be super happy, right? Happy and busy, because the hotels would be full. They are not. So again, time well spent to think about things like that.
Totally. We have one last question, and I would love to hear what you think. Antonio's hi says, hi guys, good to see. Wow, thanks, Deniel. He kicked off the question, I was reading it. Hi guys, good to see you all here. Do you think it would be useful to have a generic training video that highlights all aspects of hygiene and cleanliness in all areas of a hotel? So, Clemens, you are on. What do you think?
Well, yes, definitely.
Why not? Deniel, you need to write another email. I think that would be in two parts. It could be an internal thing. So if you don't have people, a housekeeping in your hotel, and you have changing people doing the cleaning, it could be interesting for internal reasons to have all areas covered and really to train them well with training videos, which would be the easiest way to let them know instead of reading long lists. And I also think for people to see, right? Because everyone can say, hey, we're cleaning everything. But if you actually show your guests that you do it, I think this will be like the new hashtag something on social media. Could be, right? Neville, what do you think?
I think it's a good idea, because we were talking about this before, but the question here is going to be a question of trust and communication. And Neha mentioned this before as well. And I think actually, I'm very skeptical about certifications and things like that, because I don't think people believe them. But if you actually show a video of how the rooms are being cleaned in your hotel and you share it with people, I think that is a good way of generating trust. The issue kind of is as well, and this is something that's happening I live in Spain, and in Spain, hotels are going to be permitted to open from the 11th of May onwards. But there are no guidelines. There's no official guidelines about protocols about cleaning or hygiene or anything. And I think this is something that we have seen with this crisis, that it affects everybody in all countries, but the response is not the same everywhere. So what might be a guideline in Spain might be different in Italy, or might be different in France. So I think we have to find a way to create this trust and communicate it. And this is a pretty good idea, I think, of making available a video of how your hotel is being cleaned.
Totally. So people,
I think that could be quite a powerful tool.
For sure. People write that down. That was a good one. I'm really sorry. It's 6 p.m. I think, well, not I think, we have to close this down. Deniel, not to get confused, please pull up, thank you, the last poll. We would need your feedback. on this session, and I want to say thank you to all the panelists for your time and for giving us ideas and your opinions. Thank you to the audience for joining us again. And yes, we are super bored, not, but we will have another 4 sessions in May, and we will have great topics. So please make sure to join us. Deniel has already posted the link where you can register. Obviously, you will see it all over our usual social media channels, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, etc. Please join us on the May sessions, because I think in May we will experience a very curious time where things will change from, yeah, we're all sitting at home, to actually hoteliers and providers doing different things, because we will be able to. Thank you very much. The recording will be more or less online on Monday. And that's it from my side. Deniel, do you want to add something?
Obviously.
Of course.
So there's 5 hoteliers that would like to become a panelist next time. Please reach out to us, to Liza or myself, via our contact lists. We're still looking for 1 or 2 hoteliers for next week and for the weeks after as well. So it would be awesome to have you on. People like Rajesh, for example, that I chatted with. And then I can stop the poll, because apart from 1 person, everyone replied already. And we have a pretty good feedback, which says, it's always jumping on my second screen here. 81%, let's do it again. Wasn't for me, 0. I need more numbers, 6%. It should be longer, 3%. But stay tuned and speak with Liza and myself. Keep it short and simple, 19%. I want to join in via video, 1 person, and make me a hotelier panelist next time, 5. That's great.
Perfect. So, yeah, sorry, I didn't want to interrupt.
Rajesh is saying, so Rajesh, you can reach out to me via LinkedIn. It would be a pleasure to welcome you. Thanks once again to the panelists, the hoteliers, and our partners from HIC that make this possible, because without them, there would only be me and Liza sitting here speaking about videos and websites maybe, or face masks or whatever. So thanks a lot, and we hope to see you guys back again. And if there's anything you're thinking of as a hotelier specifically, but as well as providers, where you think like, oh, I could look into this, my revenue management, I need different numbers of distribution or whatever, please reach out to all of us. Like if you want to think about how could you handle your communication with your past guests to bring them back, reach out to Neha, reach out to Neville for Antonino for communication, and whom did I forgot? Clemens for distribution. Please use that time, because we have time right now, or most of us have time right now, to help you and reply to you. And we are doing continuous sessions with our customers. We don't speak at all about our own services, but about like what we heard, what other people are doing, because we are really deeply involved with the industry. We speak to many, many people, all of us, and we are more than happy to share whatever we learn and whatever we see. So please don't hesitate to call or ping us anytime.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Thanks to all of you again. And thanks for everyone who watched us again. Hope to see you in May.
Yeah,
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.